Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. My name is Darren, joined as always by my fellow Strandees, Philip and Daniel. When was the last time we recorded? Because I'm having a little bit... I seem to be missing several memory engrams.
We're on a Star Trek Prodigy schedule, so this is still the same season.
Still the same, yeah, that's true. There is no hiatus in podcasting if you just mirror Star Trek Prodigy.
That's right.
But are you still in DS9, Daniel? What are you watching still? I don't even know.
I've already made it through all the way through Enterprise, so yeah, I'm gonna. You know what we just watched was Trouble and Tribulations. So that was great. That was fantastic.
Good episode to be had.
Yeah. And then the episode after that is terrible. It is
so it's no family after.
No, it was, and I wanted to just bring it up real quick because we talked about time travel. It is the laziest time travel episode, and I didn't even remember how it ended. But it's the one where Odo and Sisko and Bashir go back in time to Terok Nor. And you discover that Odo let a couple people die, get executed on the promenade. And in the beginning of the episode, when they go back in time, and they're just Bajoran, even though they don't look Bajoran, they're like, well, how could this be? And they're like doing all their scans and stuff. And well, it could be some sort of wormhole or something. And then they're like, I've run out of guesses. And they never revisit it. It just gets all fixed at the end. It's like...
That's weird, though, because, Trouble and Tribulation is a time travel episode, too. Yeah. So they did two back-to-back? Yeah. That's weird.
I might be forgetting an episode in between. It's definitely possible, but
even one episode in between is still...
Yeah, it's so weird.
So basically they quantum leaped and didn't realize it.
Well, you go from, the anniversary... Trouble and Tribulation, amazing episode where everything is super thought out to we'll just kind of phone it in.
Now I'm trying to remember because it sort of blends together. Not watching DS9, how does because I feel like if that's revealed for Odo, is there some point where he has to go tell Kira what happened? And
she walks in at the end and she says, she's like, I don't know how I feel. Did any other people die? Innocent people die on your watch? And he goes, I hope not. And that's it.
Gee. And then it was never revisited ever again.
Because I feel like, and maybe I'm blending together the, which I guess is technically not a time travel episode, though for the viewer it is, when Odo, they basically forms the link with everyone in the shuttle runabout and, goes back in time to Terok Nor.
That's what it was. I forgot.
It was that one.
This is the episode. That's right. Because at the end, they're like, "Oh, even though he's human now, he's not as." But he's like, "Oh, he has some molecules."
Come on, writers. Come on.
Yeah, it's so bad. And somehow they all joined the link in his brain, even though.
A link in his brain, but he's not a shapeshifter anymore.
Yeah,
at least really do it in a season where he has shape-shifting abilities. At least do that.
Because I feel like it goes back and forth between Odo and Kira, like the score. Like, it's like, oh, Odo, you did all these horrible things, and then Kira's past comes out. Like, well, Kira, you were this big terrorist, and then, like, there's always this back and forth.
For that. No, I was rescuing you.
They're constantly apologizing for being horrible people to each other, and the other person has to forgive them, and then I think one time maybe Kira doesn't forgive. Oh, that's too much. I can't forgive. And then, and it just goes back and forth the whole series. Who's the worst person?
Did you kiss me when you thought I was trapped in a crystal? No, never did that. What about you, Philip? Are you in a rewatch or starting over, as we often do?
No, I'm finishing. I'm now at the last episode of season 6 of Voyager, Unimatrix Zero, Part 1.
Oh yeah,
And look, I love Voyager. People, I think people know that. But like, I've been talking about like, I'm getting to the end of the season, getting to the end of the season. But like, good lord, these seasons are like, I thought, once you get like 20, 21, you're like, okay, we're getting ready to land this plane. No, it's like 28, 29. I'm like, gee, let's end the season already.
It's
like
26 at most, Philip. But I know what you mean.
It's just they made them a lot bigger back then.
I'm now picturing it like, the Star Wars show Kenobi, which was 6 episodes. I'm like, can you imagine if they're like, okay, give us 20 more.
Yeah, there's 20.
What?
26 episodes, yeah. So I was like, I hit 20, and I'm like, oh, this is going to end like 21, 22, 23, 20. I'm like, okay, any time now. So yeah, I just finished watching Haunting of Deck 12, and then now it's Unimatrix Zero.
It reminds me of that meme where, there's like a grandma and her grandchild, and the grandma's all like, in my day, Star Trek had 26 episodes every season. They're like, okay, grandma, let's go sit you back on the couch. We all know Star Trek has 10 episodes max per season. And it's like, yeah.
I know, compared to, I know it's always different, but I mean, the US is getting to be the same way, but like, they released that the next series of Doctor Who in 2024 will be 8 episodes plus a Christmas special. So, yeah.
What is it now? Is it normally 6 or 10?
No, it's more like 10, I think.
Okay,
but
so a little less.
Yeah, so but like 8 episodes of a series. I mean, jeez.
I mean, this is from the company that brought us Sherlock.
Yeah, I know, 3,
like
2, 3,
2 or 3, and then you wait a year or 4, and then just
So no, Sherlock's defense. They were longer episodes though. So
Man, they were so good.
A minor defense.
Yes.
In 2024, so that's the new Doctor isn't showing up until then? Or are they skipping 2023 entirely, or is it just...
No, 2023 is going to be the Tenet Doctor. I'm refusing to go by their numbers. It's going to be
a point. Please let there be a decimal point.
There's going to be 3 episodes with the Tenet Doctor, and then Ncuti Gatwa, who's really the new Doctor. Won't see him till 2024.
So there's 3 episodes next year. Do they have like air dates? Are they like are they back to back, or are they literally just going to sprinkle them one?
No, I think it's going to be in the fall.
You're going to wake up one morning and be like, hey, there's a new episode, guys, over here.
Because technically it is the 60th anniversary next year, which is November. So it's always easy to remember. It's the Kennedy assassination is when the first episode was, so November 23rd. It's always easy to remember.
That's how I remember my Who days.
Because that's the bit of trivia, if you've never heard it, because the first episode literally was on the Kennedy assassination, so no one watched it. So the producer went to the BBC and said, run it again. So they ran the first episode again the next week. Because they're like, we can't give us a chance on that. So
we can't compete with literally like national news, international news. Well, yes, I haven't been rewatching as much Trek lately, just with continuing my MASH rewatch and other shows. I need to catch up on Prodigy. I've actually gotten behind in those few episodes, but it seems like it's still been going well.
There was a I'm not spoiling. Of course, you're probably ahead anyway. They did not Star Trek, but they did what a lot of series do. Your requisite flashback episode, like of all the characters. Like when you ever have a good ensemble, you do sort of a flashback to everyone's origins. Star Trek actually doesn't do that, but this is the one where they all come from, and so they all sat and like, this is the story of where I came from.
Were they before they were imprisoned? That's
exactly
cool.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Even
and Dal can't even remember.
Yes.
So.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. But they did actually have, and again, not talking Prodigy, I know.
Murph should just be like an egg, and it cracks open, and Murph comes out, and then immediately gets scooped up by the diviner, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's it. That's all.
Well, I don't want to spoil this, but this is Murph development. Apparently, he has his own holodeck program that he likes, and that's all I'll say. I'll let you watch that episode. That was a discovery, if you will.
Nice.
But we can't talk about that show. No.
The trailer came out. I didn't watch it.
It did?
Oh, did it?
Teaser trailer. I don't know. Teaser trailer. A thing about the next season came out.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm too focused on Jedi Survivor right now. That's the
that's good. Looks real good.
Got to find me a PS5 because that is.
I don't think that's too hard anymore.
It depends, but yes. All right. Well, today,
I'm sure in your time you can find PS5s in every drugstore.
but in 2022, it's a little hard to come by. I mean, it'd be funny if it wasn't true. But, well, today, as a topic, I wanted to talk about autographs. Not just because I recently got some, but I realized we hadn't talked too much about that. And I was just curious, like, do you guys have any Star Trek autographs? Are you interested in Star Trek autographs? Do you actually have like a whole wall of autographs that you've never shown us? Have you never been interested in autographs? I just figured between the three of us, we probably all had slightly different perspectives.
Well, now I feel like let's just skip to the end. Well, tell us your humble brag, Darren.
Well,
whose autograph did you get in the past week?
I
know.
No, I like true good host. I'll start so you have time to think and come up with your answer. No, this last weekend I got to go to LA Comic-Con and LeVar Burton and Will Wheaton were there, and I thought, and they're not like $100 plus autographs. So I was like, okay, I could afford that right now. So then with autographs, because I'm not a huge collector of it, I have maybe 5 at most in across any sci-fi fandoms. But I was trying to decide, like, what do I want them to sign? Because the thing about an autograph, at least in most convention scenes, is it's kind of this moment. You're paying for the moment is really what you're paying for. I mean, yeah, you have a piece of paper or whatever with a signature on it, but you're paying for a moment of getting to sit across the table from this person, maybe have a few words, soup Nazi, take your item and move on to the left. It keeps moving. So with LeVar, what I did is I have a model of the Enterprise D that I've put together, so it doesn't look very good. It's Aztecing is a little rough, and but
now, I have to say, Darren, I like it's a model I put together. Yes, Darren, as you, everyone knows, Darren, terrible at making things. I think that is the imperator of Darren Moser. We just follow his Instagram, like, oh, look, what shit has he put on together today? I mean, no, what are you terrible?
Okay. Well,
is it not to scale? Is that the problem? Is with it?
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 scale. I fit inside. No, well, I will say, for really small things like miniatures or things like that, that is a harder scale for me to work on. So I did this years ago, and I do like the Aztecing. It wasn't like I masked anything. I just took a little paintbrush and this looks where it should go, follow the panel line. Anyway, years ago, I had been able to have Will Wheaton sign one of the nacelles, although I wasn't able to do it in person. And so I thought, oh, well, who works on the engines all the time was Geordi. It's LeVar. So I pulled the other one off and brought that. And so, his assistant was there, and, just like take the item, they make sure you paid your money. And so he took it, and he's like, oh, this is a nacelle. Like, you recognized what it was. I'm like, oh, cool. Instant points for you, LeVar. You remember this item from a show from many years ago.
I'd love for him to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been. Well, LeVar,
NCC, is this like a serial number? Or what,
Well, and LeVar has, he's got, Reading Rainbow and Roots and Star Trek. So he's got...
directed a million things.
Yeah, people could come up to him for any reason. I'm sure at a lot of it is Star Trek, but that was cool. So he signed the back of that, and then I had one of my little acrylic isolinear chips that I make, and I gave it to him as a gift. When I did that, he was like, "Oh, an isolinear chip, that." He's like, I haven't held an isolinear chip in a long time, and I was like,
spoilers for season 3 of Picard.
Well, it's all holographic chips, I guess.
That's why I said a long time. That could have been a week. That could have been, you never know. But that was really, really cool. And then, like I said, Will Wheaton was also there, and so I'm like, okay, well, I've already had him sign this nacelle, so what do I do? And so I brought my Star Trek The Next Generation technical manual, and there's the page where it has like flight control, which was his station on the bridge, and I had him sign that. And again, gave him a little isolinear chip, and just I was mostly getting that one, even though I already had a signature. I was mostly getting that one for that interactive moment because I didn't get that opportunity when he was able to sign the other nacelle. And again, Will's a really chill guy, and was nice to just chat for a moment. And so again, while they weren't very long moments, it's fun. It's fun, I think, and everybody knows what this situation is. I'm paying you money. You're giving me a moment and a thing. Like, we're not going out to lunch. Like, this is, we know what this exchange is, but it's still an interesting opportunity for people who really like these characters. We're not always microwaving burritos while we're having a podcast. It could always be this in-person experience. So it was really enjoyable. I enjoyed that a lot.
What was Will like? You said, because the only interaction I've ever had with him, not an autograph, is when we did a photograph, and I probably talked about it before, me and my wife, and it was with him and Jonathan Frakes. And we were told before we approached the people,
don't look at them. Don't talk to them.
Well, from about Will, they're like, Will has social anxiety, so they basically said don't talk to him. In a nice way, of course. So Jonathan was sort of being Jonathan, and I think probably over than compensating because
carries the conversation.
Yeah. So he was like, oh, it's the cat because I was wearing my uniform. Oh, it's the cat, and so but I don't know, how was Will as 1-to-1?
Well, I think and I've heard that about him before, and I think there's a definite difference when you buy a photograph and when you buy an autograph. Because the photograph, and I've done that once or twice, not very often, but that is the true assembly line. It's literally come, smile, look, take, you're out. Like, that is not the place for, oh, hey, how was that episode, 22? No. This is, they're like, boom, 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 move you through. So I think the fact that the autograph line, you're able to get into that headspace, I'm assuming, of like, okay, this is my time to interact with people. So he seemed fine. He seemed like really, he's got that kind of chipper personality, and the people he talked to right in front of me, they were talking a bit, and the length of interaction varied from 1 minute to like maybe 3 or 4. Like, it wasn't slow, but you could tell for some people he was connecting with and enjoying their conversation. So yeah, I'm sure he was in that like kind of on mode, where he's having that engagement. But it wasn't the after the urinal scene of Galaxy Quest where he's just pushing the paper and just totally disconnection from the fans. So no. And again, you never know what you're going to get, because these are people. They have lives and jobs and all of that, and they're not their characters. I think that's a major thing to be aware of. They may know how to spell Melvar with 3 R's, but they don't necessarily know every intricate piece. And except for Doug Drexler, who I'm sure knows everything. But no, he was good.
I always imagine. This obviously is not autographs, but doing pictures, because I've done maybe 3 or 4, and it is, you wait in line a long time and then it's over in 2 seconds. So is it worth it? I don't know. But it always makes me wonder, like when you see on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you follow, like the candid photographs of they've staged a scene and
right.
The doctor's doing
They're
this
doing
or Frakes
from the show.
I just wouldn't be like how does that happen? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be that ballsy to be like, all right, you walk up to like David Tennant or Jonathan Frakes.
Here's my direct-
this is what we're gonna be doing, guys. But obviously it happens a lot. But I'm like, I don't know how they make that happen. So in that 5 seconds they have, unless they're just telling the person before they go on, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah, the one photograph I've done was with Adam Savage at Silicon, and that, like I said, was come in. He does the normal look of like, oh my gosh, what is this thing next to me? That's really cool. Look, and then you take the photo, say thank you very much, and walk off. Because again, it's their time. Like, they only have so much time.
He does a YouTube video of you.
Well, yes. I mean,
You're
granted,
going to pay a lot for that. He's not even sharing that.
that's what's the word?
It's the VIP package.
Priceless. I can't say priceless. No, but I have to imagine that other, photo ops are kind of like that. Like it's really geared for speed of time. Like how many people can we get through as quickly as possible? I don't know. Have either of you guys done any photo ops at like? I mean, we only went to that one Star Trek convention that one time.
I mean, the ones I have, I'm trying to think. Not that I have a lot, no. Because like I said, I have the one that's me and my wife Jessica and Frakes and Wheaton. And then, I mean, they're all Doctor Who. I mean, not that there's that many. We have one with us and David Tennant. We have one with us and Catherine Tate.
From The Office.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, because I feel like, I mean, having paid for them, you feel like I should remember having paid for her as much expensive as they are. That's
You
all
don't
I
have
can
them all
remember.
on your wall behind you?
No, I mean, no, not really. I mean, because my wife's always like, oh, I don't look good in that one. But yeah, no. Yeah, the only autograph I have I mean, I have a few autographs, and we can get into it later. But like the one of like I was in front of the person and they were doing the thing, not counting Larry Nemechek because that was in our hotel room.
Larry gives,
yeah, because he signed a few of my Stellar posters.
Oh, Stellar Photography.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's a different comics. That's when like Darren and Larry and me and my wife were in like the hotel room at like 11 p.m. in LA talking Star Trek for 3 hours.
Interesting moment. Yes,
it was fun. But anyway, was John Barrowman. You see, it's all Doctor Who. But anyway, that was the one where you sort of got the interaction. That was sort of a fun interaction, or at least fun for my wife, because it was one of the ones that's like. It wasn't super expensive, like you said. That was a draw, and also at the time, John Barrowman was like, "Oh, that's someone who would be cool to get something from." And so they had the pre-selected pictures there you could sort of buy, and then which like, unlike you, I didn't plan ahead, I guess. But anyway, so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got one. They're like, "Oh, we're closing up." I'm like, "Ah," but they're like, "Okay, one last one." Okay, so like I picked a picture. And then went up there, and I forget, it's always probably asking, what's the name? Philip and Jessica, which, Philip's easy to mess up, how many else? But I think he did it wrong. And I was, and it's sort of like, I'm sure you had the moment there, like, oh, because you have 5 seconds.
You're like,
oh, no, it's fine.
Elvar.
Yeah, I know. Well, but I was like, oh, no, it's fine. He's like, no. It's not fine. I mean, he didn't say it like I'm anyway, but I was like, no, it's not fine. Go get another picture. And so then I went back to where the picture was, and the girl had been like packing up because that was the last one. So it's like, oh, he told me to get another. So my wife's got like 5 minutes with John Barrowman as I'm trying to like figure out the picture situation.
As she stepped away, she's like, walk slowly.
I know.
Taking a while to get the picture.
So then by
shoes.
Yeah, I know. By the time I came back, and then he did it, and he's lovely. I think I probably said 2 things to him. Obviously, my wife had like 5 minutes of FaceTime with him. But anyway, and so that was it. So it's cool.
That's cool.
You get a story. I mean, that's the whole thing you want, right? You want a story.
Yeah. You want a moment. So Daniel, I'm guessing you don't
based
have
on
a
your
lot
blank wall
of photos or autographs, which is okay. You can still join our conversation because there's the other part of the question of if you ever wanted one, who would it be?
Yeah, so I'm going to be real boring. Sorry, but no,
Never boring. Always special, Daniel.
No pictures, no signatures, autographs. It's just not my thing. It's just not for me. Like standing in line and paying money, and then I don't know. I don't think of like because I know the characters and the actors aren't the same. So the love that I have for the characters doesn't really translate to the actors for me. I don't know. It's just my personality, I guess. If I did want one person's autograph, who would it be? I mean, I guess my default would probably just jump right to Patrick Stewart, just because I like Captain Picard so much. But I'm not sure. I'm sure I could come up with some. You know what? I would definitely stand in line for maybe someone like Ronald Moore.
Okay.
Just because he's just
So
a
more the
fascinating,
behind the
interesting
scenes
person.
people.
Yeah, probably more of the creatives.
Because they are who they are.
They're also cheaper.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
That helps.
but that's probably who I'd pick. Honestly, I'll think about it some more too. Just to think if someone else would tickle my fancy, but I probably wouldn't even do it even then. But if I walked up to it, like if it was something like natural or organic, like I saw someone at I don't even think I'd walk up to a celebrity then. I just let them be people.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know who that is over there?
I have that same feeling too. Like even if I see someone, it's like I don't want to be that guy. Like they're just having food. Like, but that's the other nice thing about autographs is it's a confined moment. Like this moment is set up for that interaction, and you're paying for your piece, so it's like it's expected. It's not like they're having lunch at Chipotle, and you really shouldn't be asking for an autograph right now.
I think I got way more out of like when we went to the convention and we saw Kate speak. Like the actual like panels and stuff. I think is way more to me like worth it and interesting. I'm getting more out of that interaction. Like and I'm still kind of an active participant in that. Even though I don't get to do it, one-on-one, obviously. But at least I'm there and I can see the person's energy and that sort of stuff was more interesting to me than like a not
I'd say, and that's a good point because the panel is kind of the adjunct to the autograph where you might ask a question during the Q&A, and that's still that kind of moment of interaction. It's a little more group project-y, but
now, and also Darren, when you're asking who do you want an autograph of, now are you, as I dissect the question, do you like literally who would you want an autograph of, or who do you want to have an autograph experience with?
Experience,
because I do have autographs that like you said, that first one with Will, you weren't there for. I do have a autograph of Patrick Stewart, but I didn't see him. Like I already forget how I acquired it. To tell you the truth, I have one of Jennifer Lean, who played Keth, somewhere behind me actually, if I can grab it. But that's another one I acquired. It wasn't a personal, it wasn't like someone got it. It was just like, hey, here's for. I don't know if someone gave it to him or if I bought it for something or I don't know. But like I have
street. Oh, look, an autograph. Just pick it up.
And then also to compare experiences, a behind the scenes autograph I have of J. Michael Straczynski. He was at a con. I was at, I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, may have very well been the same one we went to, Darren. But anyway, that was a sort of a mirror or two experiences. So like I went to the booth, like he's just sitting there. And honestly, I mean him and whoever was with him, but like there was no line or anything. And like JMS, I mean, like kind of a big guy as far as my fandom. And I had brought his book that he had just written. I don't either that or he was selling it with an autograph. I can't remember, but anyway, it was his book on writing. And so I got him to autograph, but he was like, it was like a very zero interaction. And I was like, because I was being kind of, not of a fanboy as far as like, I couldn't think of like what to say. Like, how do you be like, you're awesome. Like, just, but anyway, I was like, blah, 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 stupid things. And, he grunts. And I was like, and I left. And I was like, that was kind of, I mean, it's cool to kind of have the autograph book. I was like, but then when I went to his panel that was like in 30 minutes later, and it was kind of a small group panel. Like it was in like a smaller conference room. It wasn't like a big hall. And so there was maybe like, I mean, it was big, but not huge, like say 30, 35 people. And he was much more like, and he wasn't like on some big, he was like right there. And it was very much back and forth. You could ask questions. And that was the better experience with him that I got than just like cool. Because maybe he's not an extrovert, or maybe he had jet lag from being wherever you never know how you're going to hit him on a particular time.
No, that's a good point. And I mean, we talked about these moments and kind of the expectation or the kind of the mode you have to be in. And that makes a lot of sense that, on his panel, he's like, okay, I know what's expected of me right now. I know what I'm going to be talking about. And not that he can't interact with the audience, but it's not a moment where, I mean, there's, you could be a movie star or whatever and be like, I don't like signing things for people. Like, that's just not my deal. But they still do it because it makes money or their fans want it and they enjoy it.
I think on both sides, I mean, unless you're a healthy, functioning personality, which neither the fan nor the creator usually is, it's like from the fan perspective, you almost feel like you have to have something prepared, right? You can't just be like, "Hi, awesome, love you in Star Trek." You gotta have a thing. You gotta have like I'm going to talk about like for instance, I didn't get an autograph. This was just sort of a moment. This was in here in this country, and it was in London. Wilson Cruz at a convention, and from Star Trek Discovery and many other things. But anyway, he was there. There was no line, and but I was like, I mean, I figure if there's no line, he's just sitting there. Like, you can go up for, like, I feel like that's all right. You can just go up for 5 seconds because I mean, the guy's probably bored, right? So I just went up real quick because he'd been on a political comedy podcast that I listened to. I was like, oh hey, heard you blah, 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 on there, and so we had like 3 minutes, 4 minutes just talking, and because I was like, I also in the back of my mind, I'm talking for him for free. That might be like, I don't know if that's cool or not, So I was like, I was going to do a quick in and out, but anyway, that was just a cool interaction. But I had something to say. It wasn't just like, you're cool. And then from the creator's aspect, like, do you have? Because then you want to be like giving everyone a moment, right? Every fan to leave with, but like, what do you say? I don't know.
No, that's a good point, and it kind of, shifts into that, con or convention mindset of, what are cons for? Like, what are we expecting to get out of them? And yeah, no, I like that story you talked about, going to see, seeing Kate Mulgrew at her panel, and that's a way more interesting experience than maybe just having a 20-second conversation and she signs a piece of paper or a photo for you.
Well, Darren, that reminds me of an autograph. I think you got an autograph, didn't you, of the Klingons on your...
Oh, that's right, I did. J.G. Hertzler and,
Robert Riley? That's not his
Robert
name.
O'Reilly. Yeah, I had my Star Trek The Next Generation Interactive VCR board game of Klingon Challenge. Just so happened to have it. No, I did bring it on purpose to play, but then I was like... So again, I think they were there and they had the option to do an autograph, the two of them, and I was like, "Whoa, what object?" Oh, I'm like, I have the perfect object for them to sign, and that was true. And again, not that you can't just have like a photo or something signed, and most people or most celebrities will have them, and it's kind of built into the cost, so you just get one. Because I'm always
the glossy photo
about that. Because I'll always be like, well, I got to bring something because I can't just show up, and then they're like, well, it's $5 more for the photo. I'm like, I don't have money on me, but yeah, that's true. I did have them sign the box. It's somewhere in my cupboard, but yeah, and again, that's kind of fun. You're trying to create a moment as well, where they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was cool. Someone brought this old script that I haven't seen in 20 years," or "Oh, they brought the board game that I wasn't Galron in." And, it's just fun. We're trying, in a way. Sometimes we're trying to make a moment as much as they're trying to make a moment. But that's a good point.
Because Daniel, I don't know if you remember the exact people, but like one of my favorite moments from the Las Vegas 50th. Was that room where those guys were in. But you remember how it was like a big room, but it was all these, like, everyone's packed in there. There's sort of the, no offense against them, sort of the B and C tier. But that, to me, was the coolest, because you'd see people from, like, TOS, and you're like, oh, God, there's blah, 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 or TNG, or DS. Like, that was, to me, was the coolest thing. I mean, even just to see them. I mean, like, it's like a zoo, right? But, I mean, that, to me, was, because obviously they're probably not going to be, 150, they're going to be like 35, 40,
Right.
And that's the cool thing. You're going to be like,
they're not in a panel right now. The reunion of Next Gen or whatever. They're sitting at their table.
Like, you'd be like, I forget her real name, Admiral Nechayev, or,
right.
Yeah. So I don't know if there was people that you popped out like,
Admiral collection.
Yeah, I remember, I think Chase was there, right?
Masterson, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember, like, feeling surprised, because I didn't expect like that, that amount, that level of like, oh, and they're all just sitting there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's weird, they're people and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just all at once, but And
I think that's the coolest thing, because, and again, they need another name other than B and C tier, but because they're more niche and we're nerds and had brought stuff, so you could be like, oh, I got the Klingon VCR game. We got Klingons, and they're like 35. I could do that. Or I don't know what you would have, but some random piece of Star Trek-ness. You'd be like, oh, that character, that'd be perfect for, you Barkley. Dwight Schultz is there. He could sign my TNG tech manual or something.
Yeah, exactly. And when I was in line for Will Wheaton, it was cool because there was one thing that some people will do is they'll get a piece or a photo that has multiple people on it, and then their goal is to get like every signature. It's kind of like a quest over many a time. And so this person, they had a printout of the image from Family Guy where they were all recording and they're standing on the transporter and they all look like normal people, but they're, voice acting in that moment. And I think he had about half of them signed. And he had like another old, like 96, edition poster that had, or no, it would have been earlier than 96. It was like season 1 of Next Gen. And you had to, probably from a magazine because it had all the creases on it. You had to carefully unfold it and had all that. And so, yeah, that's another thing that some people will do is they're just kind of trying to complete the collection. Because, yeah, I mean, obviously a poster like that with LeVar's signature on it is cool, but a poster like that with all of the main 7 or 8 on it is immeasurable.
Yeah, of course, there's always a part of me, I would say in today's world, but it's like in the past 30 years it's been like this. You never know whether people are doing it because of that or because they're going to sell it on eBay or something.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, whatever. It's their money. Do whatever they want, I guess. But, you're like, ugh. It's not for the real fans.
There was one person who had like a box of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, okay, buddy. I mean, I get it. It's just money, but like, you got to think the star or the guest is kind of thinking like, am I just an assembly line here to fill these items? One to keep, one to open, one to sell, one to, and I.
Yeah, that and look,
that's not the world we live in. So we're we're commenting on a lifestyle that we don't participate in, but it's just we don't get it.
I know if and nothing against you. If you're listening and you're the person who has like them all in your room and it's all in the box,
all
and,
in
that's, yeah, and that's fine. Like that's what you. But to me, I see people post like, dude, everything is out of the box and open and posed, and but that's just me. I was like, that's just. I would never keep anything in a box. I mean, I don't know. Who am I going to give it to? No one. I'm not going to sell anything. I mean, my wife's going to have like the weirdest estate sale when I die. So anyway.
Yeah, and again, it's fun having that autograph, but I almost got the autograph with Will just because it'd be weird to just go up and be like, I'd just like to have a 3-minute conversation with you, and you're not doing something with your
Here's
hands.
a piece of paper if we want to make this legal.
Weirder. Yeah, because again, you're kind of creating this little mini social contract of like, yes, I'm paying for your time, but we're not best buddies. We don't have to be friends. But we're cordial and enjoying each other's company for a second, and it's fun.
Because I think maybe a question to think about, or first think about, is because when you say who you want to autograph with, and we automatically think like the big, but I think like if you thought, okay,
money-wise, you could take the cost of one William Shatner, you could get like 5, C-list. Yeah, I mean, again,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. If they were $35 on the BCD list, and like, I mean, you're watching DS9, Daniel, that's half the cast. Who would that be? Like, Morn. If they were there,
I was going to say Morn just for fun. Yeah, that'd be the funniest thing to do.
Well, how would he sign? Just like, love chatting with you,
He'd be
Morn.
Sitting there at his table, and we're like, who are you? Like, we don't even know, because we don't know. I don't know what the guy looks like.
You have to take his word for it.
In real life.
There's the big banner behind him, right?
Well, yeah, but that could be photoshopped. You never know. Yeah, it's true.
I'm trying to like think, and I don't think there's really a feasible way to do this, but I'm trying to think of like a different way to do it, because in my mind, like from like who I am as a person, this doesn't sound like something I would enjoy. I'm trying to think of like a more natural way that you could have those experiences. I'm like, let's all go to a party or something.
Kind of like Star Trek speed dating, but you're not actually dating. You're just chatting with stars.
Well, I can tell you because I had a different experience, and I certainly recommend that. it was more this way. Again, we go back to that Doctor Who convention, which I'm Gallifrey 1. Gallifrey 1 is the one we keep talking about in LA in however many years ago it was. But anyway, that's a fan-run convention. It's not corporate, and so they do a whole bunch of different things that are very cool. They cap it's a low, not a low, but a lower cap of audience. So it's but anyway, but one of the things that sort of this experience you're talking about, they called them coffee clatches. And before the convention, like a month or 2 or 3 before, if that was your thing, you paid, and you were basically lotteried. I forget how it worked, but like there's so many options of people you could sign up for, and you would end up getting a small group of 10 or 12 of you that would then have like coffee in a room with the person for. I forget how long.
That's really cool.
That sounds way better to me.
And so I'm blanking on his name, which of course now devalues the experience. But I mean, he's really cool. He's a director on Doctor Who. He's a young guy, probably my age, if not younger. But he directed Jodie's first episode and has directed several in that first season she did. But he was pulling out his iPhone of like shooting that first episode. This one we had her on the crane, and that was like just for like 15 minutes because he's I don't know anything about directors, especially British TV, BBC directors. But anyway, he's cool. He's just like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And that was just like for 12, 15 minutes, just shooting this shit with you and
that
12 other people.
Really cool. I kind of wish more conventions did that.
Yeah, that sounds way better of an experience than. And maybe if you sign up, I don't know if it was this way, but like if that way you don't have to wait in line. Presumably, you just should go
virtually. Like it was all you paid your money in line. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like waiting for Taylor Swift tickets.
I thought it was. So, but when you're meeting them, are you physically meeting them?
Yeah.
A coffee room. Okay.
Yeah. Just get in a little line.
I thought these were like Zoom sessions or something.
Oh yeah, no, it was real. It was before.
Now, one question is there? Because you said it was like a lottery, is there a chance that you pay but you don't get picked and you don't get into anyone? Or are you guaranteed at least one
I just forgot.
Coffee room?
It's been so many years, I forgot how it worked. Because I think it was, you signed up for like a number of people. That's how I remember it. Could be wrong. Because it was like first choice, second choice, third choice of the people. And then how things worked out. So I forget where I had him. I can't remember. I for some reason, he was my. I wouldn't think he was my first. Like, this director. But it was still like, that's cool. So he's somewhere on my list. But anyway, yeah, that's how it worked out.
That's cool though. No, I like that idea. Coffee with Kenobi. Sit with Ian McGregor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, this was a fun kind of discussion on con culture, and again, that's not everyone's deal, and that's totally cool. I mean. People love Star Trek who just watch Star Trek a lot. And some people podcast about it, which seems weird to other people. So, but no, this was fun. I really liked hearing a lot of your experiences, Philip, of, Doctor Who and, Daniel. I like that perspective of, because I will definitely say for myself, I'm not a huge autograph collector. I don't have, a million posters or anything. I've forgotten about having the Klingon one signed, so you had to remind me of that. But that was cool just to hear, like, what other ways could that interaction happen? Because that is kind of what it's about. Not just a signed piece of paper or photo.
Yeah, to me, it's just about. to me, and I think that's what it is. It's different for everyone. It's about like some Star Trek's thing. Like I'm looking around my room here, but like a book, or like if I have a TNG book or a TOS book or a TAS book, or whatever. And I just had like, who and so is going to be there, and as long as it's not like extortionately expensive, be like, that's cool because it sort of enhances that thing I already have. So like, for instance, like you're isolating your chips that I got from you, like that'd be like if I. There's a bunch of B or C, because again, I'm not going to pay it through the wazoo. But that'd be cool to have like each one signed by like X, Y, and Z.
Cool.
Yeah. See, that's how you should be selling it. Marketing
It'd
there.
be cool if there's like a bunch of like background
autographed.
yellow shirts and get them to sign isolinear chips or something.
Yeah. Get your engineer set. Get all the people who played engineers.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and LeVar was 60 for the autograph, and Will was 40.
It's not bad.
So pretty,
under 100 is good.
Under 100, yeah. And you could tell, like, okay, well, this person. It was funny seeing the lines for like the actors who were in the active current shows, because those lines were like miles long, but you know,
Which I wouldn't be
everyone has
surprised.
their window.
That's pretty low for both of them.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
Wheaton could probably go 50, 60. LeVar could probably go 100,
I feel
110
like
if
Will
he wanted to.
purposely goes low because he wants people to do it and be affordable. Like he doesn't need it to be $60 or $100.
It's like going on Cameo. Like I don't know. If, that's a 21st century
I've never
thing.
done it, but yeah,
I've done a few. Yes.
where you pay them to say hi and sing happy birthday or whatever it is.
Because and of course mine are very quirky. Because I'm very quirky. I've gotten he's a podcaster, Rob Cisternino. He does all the reality Survivor, Big Brother, and so I did one for my wife for him. I did one, a guy from The Challenge. It's a junk reality show we watch. Had him do one for my wife. And then I got one from the Washington Post TikTok guy. He has a name. It doesn't matter. But that one was for me because he's pretty cool and he's a Survivor. He's, again, my age or younger. And he's a Survivor fan. And so it was just sort of like a pick me up because he was cheap. And I was like, oh, he's cool. I was like, hey, just like a pick me up, like, because I was starting my PhD application process, which was not fun at the time. And then I asked him a Survivor question. He's like, and his cameo was all like, nobody ever asked me about Survivor. And he's like, he went through like, I forget how long it is. But it was like 10, 15 minutes of like, these are the seasons you should be watching. This is why I love. And so that's the cool thing. It obviously depends who you get, but there are people who will go off, and not just do like here's the script, happy birthday, hope you have a good one.
Yeah, that's your goal. You're trying to create an experience as well to a point, and if you ask the right question, you're like, oh, this could unlock this little part that they have not been able to talk about for decades. Or what do people say? Like, if you see someone walking down the red carpet, the interviewers, they're always trying to think of like, what's that one obscure movie that actor was in that you're like, what was it like, working with Tim Burton in A Nightmare Before Christmas? It's like, what? No one ever asked me that. But
My grandfather's hammer.
Yes, I know. There's lots of parallels to this conversation to Galaxy Quest.
A wizard did it. And the answer is a wizard did it. Well, it was, sorry, one more. It just reminds me of that question culture. And I think it was with John Barrowman, because I've seen the man many times, is that it was a con, and I can't remember where it was. I was saying North Carolina, but I can't remember, where I saw him. And he basically led after, I think it was me, asked a question. It was like, who's asked the first question? I was like, bashful. I'm like, I'll do it. I don't know. So anyway, but he did the thing of like, don't ask me favorite. He's like, because, like favorite. He's like, don't say favorite. And so, but it was funny because everyone had to like stumble, like, what's your, what was your, because that's everyone's question that they got. Because so that was sort of a thing. I think if you lay out the ground rules as the talent, it helps people. Don't tell me an episode title. You have to be the one with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Friends rules only.
Well, it was cool to having a little discussion about a bit of con life and a little Star Trek. But we're looking forward to talking about more Trek, even more so, next week.
Keep making it.
Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about your favorite Doctor Who signature, I know it's Doctor Who, not Star Trek. Where do they find you?
Oh, they can find me at NC Public Servant as I wait the many, many months until new Doctor Who. But I only wait next week till new Star Trek, so,
That means that show is winning. Mm-hmm. And Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you about the Rube Goldberg type situation that would have to align for you to get an autograph, where would they find you?
We would have to meet at a diner and would have to feel really comfortable that you were just sitting there. No, they can find me at One Up Dan. That's the number one, not the word.
And if someone wants to bid on my eBay for all of my autographed Klingon challenge, no, just kidding. They can go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here, getting autographs on City Alpha 3.